And it looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I am Alexi. I'm going to be your MC this evening. We are here playing Checkpoint Midnight, Waltz of Treachery, Season 1, Session 4 of 4. This is a game being organized through the Gauntlet gaming community. You can check out the Gauntlet at gauntlet-rpg.com or follow the Gauntlet on Twitter at GauntletRPG. We're playing lots of cool games each and every month, all organized through the Gauntlet gaming calendar, and you can find out about that by checking out the Gauntlet at those places. The game we're playing tonight is Checkpoint Midnight. Checkpoint Midnight is an in-development game from Cloven Pine Games, that's me, telling the stories of supernatural operatives running missions and juggling loyalties in Cold War Vienna. We are wrapping up a first season of a Gauntlet quarterly. So on the Gauntlet, there's lots of games that run for just a month. 4 sessions, 5 sessions, and then it's short and sweet, in and out like that. This game is actually beginning a story and beginning some characters that we're going to see for several months, a whole quarterly. However, I do want each season to have its own integrity, and indeed we have some characters just in this season, or leaving after the season to return later. So we're going to try to have this be something of a finale session, even though we had a big action scene at the end of the last session. So we'll see if we can top that. We'll deal with some fallout certainly, and see where the characters are going. Anyways, if you want to follow along with the development of Checkpoint Midnight, if this game sounds fun to you, if being a magic spy in a divided city is your jam, you can follow along at bit.ly/checkpointmidnightlist, where you can sign up to know about the game, to know if it finds a publisher or goes to Kickstarter, or other opportunities for playtesting it even. Let's meet our wonderful players. I'm going to have us go around and just have our players tell us about themselves. So your name, your online handle if you wish, your pronouns if you so desire, and just introduce yourself as a player. We'll come back for the characters in a second round. Oh, right. I'm Alexi. I'm going to be the MC this evening. My pronouns are he, him, and you can follow all of my gaming endeavors online at Cloven Pine Games. So check out Cloven Pine Games on Twitter or on itch.io, where you can download several award-nominated Cloven Pine games for free. Puckett, start us off. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Puckett. I use he, him pronouns, and I am irrationally excited about Bill and Ted Face the Music coming out soon.
Very good, very good. Leandro, you're next.
Picked a bad time to sip a cup of coffee. Hi, I'm Leandro. I use he, him pronouns. I don't have anything going on other than I turned 27 last week. That's about
Woo!
it. Yay.
Happy birthday.
That's all I got.
Happy birthday. Chris, you're up next.
Hi, my name's Chris. I use he, him pronouns. I'm on Twitter at Hectic Electron and on the web there too. And I'm working on a fantasy game with an ancient Mediterranean feel. Currently working titled Defy the Gods.
Ooh.
So I hope to bring that before people soon.
Very cool. Awesome. Great to have you, Chris. And last but not least, we got Mark.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mark, sometimes online known as Skye. That's Xai. You can find everything that I'm involved with on my Twitter at Kai the Gamer, Xai the Gamer. I have decided to reread the comic books of my youth and live tweet about them. You can watch me do that on Twitter. And we're not doing characters. I do have an online convention coming up in January I'd like to promote called Camp Nerdling online. Please find the link also at my Twitter. And in terms of age, I turned 42 and a half yesterday. So there we go.
Woo! To be clear, no one is required to disclose their age on this stream. Great. Good to have you, Mark. Thanks all for joining again to play Checkpoint Midnight. Let's go back around and meet the operatives we've been following over this series so far. So, Puckett, tell us about Jack.
I'm a deeply unhappy person. I served my country well. I died in action. And the next thing I know, I am back to some semblance of existence because some scientists couldn't leave well enough alone and let the natural order stand, and instead decided to stitch a bunch of parts together and call it something. And when I find them, I'm going to find out how to die, then I'm going to kill them, and then I'm going to have my rest. And in the meantime, it's my intention to bring as many ex-Nazis to justice as I can find.
Yeah, that's about the size of it. So yeah, Jack, big guy, stitched together from various pieces, metal leg, recently taken a CIA handler sort of under his wing as a bit of a protege for as far as field work goes.
Tripp is a good kid. He needs to learn how to shoot, but he's a good kid.
And we'll be seeing more of Jack and Jack's quest to uncover who put him back together this way in the first place as well. But for now, let's go on and meet our next operative. So Leandro, will you tell us about Emilie?
Yeah, Emilie Landau, who, unlike Jack, is rather happy at the moment. She's not really pissed off about anything. I mean, after all, she used to live in this podunk nowhere Austrian village, but was given an opportunity by this beguiling woman of mystery and went off on a whirlwind romance that led her to Vienna, where she's here busy trying to make a name for herself. She is favored with weird supernatural luck, the kind that ensures that whenever she jumps off a building, there will always be a bale of hay to catch her. Or maybe there isn't. Who knows? We never see, but she always survives.
Right. The camera always cuts away, but somehow Emilie is fine at the bottom of these falls.
Yeah. She's perfectly fine. That's kind of like led her to, have a bit of an ego, I suppose. But yeah, she's here to basically just make sure she gets out of this whole Cold War nonsense better off than she entered, which is proving complicated given that there are apparently people who know her, who want to kill her. She may have gotten a nemesis, one who can throw lightning. That might have happened. Who knows? But she's doing fine.
Also, people tried to drown her in the sewers, but she struggled her way free and got an assist from another one of our operatives there.
That's just how lucky she is.
True enough. All right. Well, we'll see if Emilie's luck ever runs out, or if she will, continue to reap the rewards of looking out for number one here in Cold War Vienna. But for the moment, let's turn to our next operative. Chris, will you tell us about Ashleigh?
Yes, Ashleigh was carved out of a piece of wood sometime in the late 1920s, and walks the streets of Vienna, studying humanity and catching flashes of memory about her carver and creator, who is somehow associated with the city. Rather idealistic, fascinated by breath and fire, things that humans do, like smoking, and has a little ladybug named Constance that seems to have my best interest at heart and is always telling me what to do.
That's right. Though you don't always listen to your conscience that takes the form of this ladybug.
I can't directly tell a lie, or if I do, I take some stress. But well, we can get into this later. But I had this flash, so to speak, of a vision of a tree full of golden apples. But we'll get to that.
You did. You had that tree. You had that vision, and the tree in the vision was speaking to you. I always forget to pop this up, but for anyone watching the video, here are some images of our characters. I'll scroll back so we can see, Jack, played by an intimidating Michael Caine there. Let's turn then to our last operative. Mark, will you tell us about Skye?
Yes, Skye was a Scottish doctor in the war and found her way to Vienna, and she doesn't remember why, but she was literally throttled to death in the sewers. What she does know is that she's come back, that the water seems to be hers to command, and someone has a bit of her soul trapped in a ring, and when they tell me what to do, if I do it, I'm fine, but if I don't, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And I got really close to finding out who they were, and then almost died because of it. And Jack Hardesty proved that he would take a bullet for me.
Yeah, that was a high stakes mission there, and you probably displeased your leash holder, in the process, I'd say. There's a ring with a little bit of your soul in it that he seems to be hanging on to. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we've met these characters. Let's get a little sense of what they do in their downtime. Yes, I'm giving you the chance to possibly relieve some of the stress you're under and the conditions you've taken. I'm going to ask each of you a little bit about what you're doing in your downtime, and if you so desire, you can be using this moment to trigger your refresh move, right, which is a downtime exclusive thing, and we'll also be for some of you checking in a little and establishing how the new entanglements you've taken and the new advancements you've clocked here. But to start off, let me go back over to Jack. Jack, what does your downtime look like? There was this mission. It left a sort of smoldering crater by the riverside. We'll say that you get at least a day or a day and a half to go about your business before something before some other thing crops up that we're going to be focusing in on in the game. So what does downtime look like for Jack Hardesty, a man with a mission?
Well, Skye, have you told us that you were a doctor? The circumstances of your passing.
Oh, I'm sure it's come up before. I'm sure I've compared myself to the doctors at Checkpoint Midnight as well.
So then, I've probably invited Skye along on this, and Ashleigh might be interested. And if Emilie's interested, she's more than welcome to come along. But there is a graveyard of unknown soldiers from World War II that they were never able to identify, and it's just a graveyard of simple markers. There's not really any religious symbols in it because nobody knew whether they were Jewish or Orthodox or Christian, or so it's very simple markers noting where the bodies are, and it's tended somewhat. It's usually tended by veterans who are, unlike myself, still alive, because they know it could have been them. And I think today, as part of my downtime, I'm going to visit this cemetery, clear weeds away, remove dead flowers from grave sites, and so on.
Very public spirited.
We were all soldiers. Some of us made it back. Some of us should have been left. And you may be carrying a little part of some of them with you. Yeah. It kind of boiled down to maybe all the bodies buried here were not intact, and they just chalked it up to explosions or mines or whatnot. So I feel a sort of sense of responsibility for this place. And
Absolutely.
while I can, and when I have time, I come here and I take care of it as I would want my own grave taken care of.
Yeah, have you taken up Jack's invitation to come along to this gravesite?
I've definitely come along. I'm just trying to figure out how I respond. Like, what do I do? Do the grave sites have like rank and stuff like that on it, or are these just so the soldiers are so unknown that it's just a
Unidentified.
Yeah, these are bodies that no one claimed.
Okay.
Or they couldn't be identified. The uniform was too badly destroyed, so it couldn't be figured. They couldn't figure out whether it was a Russian uniform or an American uniform or a French uniform, or there may be even Germans buried here.
They don't even know like what army they were from? Wow.
It's better than a mass grave, Ashleigh.
It's true.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I would go. Maybe I would go just to see if there are other people there and what they do when they remember the dead.
And that's why I thought you might be interested in it, Ashleigh. You're always curious about what people do. This is what people do for those that they didn't know.
And this is also something people do, this dying. They die.
Unlike me and unlike Skye, yes, most people do.
I mean,
I like that we have this trio of characters who maybe can't die or haven't successfully died. Just in the nature of mortality.
Is it a quartet? Did Emilie come along?
She didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've been lacquered to the point that I wouldn't even get worm eaten. I might be screwed. I might still be here in 100 years.
Well, who knows? Maybe one or both of us will be here to keep you company.
Well, at least we'll have each other.
That's a way to look at it.
No.
And I think I'm actually literally raking fallen leaves away from the graves.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you do that, you hear like a happy bark of a hound that kind of appears around one of these gravestones, with Ashleigh, Skye, you definitely see a little bit of a like kind of blue ghostly aura around this dog, but it is barking in recognition, like she's happy to see Jack.
Oh.
Hello, Ushi.
You have a friend.
Yes, Ushi's a good girl. And I click my tongue and reach down and give her some scritches.
What a good dog.
You have no idea, Ashleigh.
So
Ushi's the best dog.
I thought spectral hounds stories are they appear when somebody's about to die.
Not Ushi. Well, okay, in fairness, Ushi has appeared in situations where people were about to die. But today, at least, she just seems to be hanging around.
Is Ushi still with you because you were going to die and then didn't? Or you died and then it didn't stick?
She kind of like puts her head on the side, like she's confused by this too.
Ushi showed up one day outside checkpoint midnight. And this was after I had been revived.
Eating spectral scraps?
No, just wandering around the alley.
Oh. Lovely.
She's been around ever since. Goes off sometimes to do whatever ghost dogs do and comes back whenever she's ready.
How do people act with pets?
Here, Ashleigh, let me show you. Take a knee. And I actually kneel down and
Okay, I kneel.
I just start petting Ushi. This is what you do to show a dog affection.
Oh,
You pet them and you can scratch them under the chin or you can scratch their ears, but not too hard.
right. Not
Just
too
be
hard.
gentle.
They're soft
Yes.
animals.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But you can show them that you care for them and that you love them, and you can show physical affection in these ways.
And then there's a thing where they love you back.
It is, if you treat a dog well, if you are kind, if you make sure it is fed, and you're very careful not to harm it, then yes. I mean, and if you happen to step on its paw accidentally or something along those lines, they understand, they're forgiving. But it's one of the purest and most unconditional forms of love that a human can have with anyone.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I think the dog is like, just a tiny bit hesitant as you're attempting to pat it with your wooden fingers, but you're following along with Jack's lead. You're able to to pet this dog, and it gives like a little happy little yip noise. Jack,
Wow.
just to make sure you're getting your mechanical benefit here, when you bury the dead or visit a gravesite, you can pick one, clear your stress track or clear a condition. If you get another PC to accompany, you pick both. So you get to clear stress and a condition, I think.
Nice.
I didn't know I was coming along for mechanical advantage.
Actually, I had forgotten that part. I was just doing it so we could have a scene together.
Yeah, it was nice. It was good. When I clear my stress track, I take it back to 0? Or do I take it just back down 1?
That is how that works. Do you want to trigger your own refresh move? Because bury yourself in study of human society. That can definitely count for this learning how pets work moment, I think.
And
As
morning.
well as death care.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. I was like, people, right. I still have my condition, which is burned. And I don't know if you meant burned like I am burned by lightning, or burned as in a spy whose identity has been revealed to everybody.
It's intentionally multivalent.
Excellent.
But I think you were in a burning building where lightning was being flung around. So as much as you want, we can have the literal sense involved. But yeah, I picked the word burned because of the possibility of those multiple interpretations.
But
very good.
Wouldn't Ashleigh also get to clear stress track and a condition since there's other PCs along?
I didn't know if mine. I don't know if mine says that. I just. Oh yeah, it's true.
I think so.
Okay. Well, then I will have rubbed oil on the gash that this lightning bolt made in me that I stepped in front of. Was it Emilie?
Yeah.
So it's always going to be there, but at least it's it doesn't hurt as bad.
Absolutely. Skye, you came along to the graveyard. I'm just checking.
Yeah, and I think rather rapidly I finish my cigarette and I leave. And I'm rejecting someone who cares about me.
By not staying for with Ashleigh
I love how these all dovetail. This is great.
So that's a release move, and I can either take an XP or clear a stress, and I'll clear a stress with it.
Okay, yeah. As you start going, the dog growls a little bit at your as you're walking away, kind of looking after Skye.
Steady girl.
Not having the cane kind of happy reaction that she had to Jack, certainly. But yeah, when you say steady, she quiets down, just like stays staring at Skye until Skye's out of sight.
And I look at Ashleigh and say, not everyone is as accustomed to being not entirely alive anymore as I am.
I did leave a cigarette butt though, Ashleigh, if you want to.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, totally. I'm all over that.
Yes, Ashleigh collecting those cigarette butts to learn about humans and breathing and fire and all of these fascinating.
A little cigarette case full of these things, a little clamshell thing.
All right. Well, and as that case snaps shut, I might cut away from the scene if that's all right. And I want to check in, Emilie. What does your downtime look like? What do we catch a glimpse of Emilie doing? After that wild mission we saw her drive a truck back into a burning building, basically bringing the place down on top of everyone.
Yeah, I was looking at her refresh move. So the way to blow off steam is apparently to fleece some rubes for fun or profit. I think we get like a montage of like Emilie hanging out around probably like the train station or bus station. She's got like a kind of like she's grabbed like a tourist clapboard and is gonna put on her, and we see like a faraway shot of her talking to some people who are like traveling from one place to another, getting friendly with them, and taking sitting by the side and like talking to them, and then getting like some names and some contact numbers and whatnot. And then we see Emilie is heading off to like a very lonely phone booth. I did look up; they did have phone booths around this time. I had to look this up.
I would have believed you either way.
Yeah. The important part is like there are no cars, so there's not going to be like any noise there. And I had to look up a list of confidence tricks because I don't do this sort of thing. And you see like when she gets in the phone booth, she's looking at the name of like the person and the contact number that she's kind of like stolen from this person, and it's just okay, get into character. And she calls this like number who is this person's like parent or whatnot, and she's basically pretending to be that person and saying, "Hey, I got held up in Vienna. You know how it is Americans, they're asking for like just checkpoints everywhere. I need some money. You can just wire it to this like account, that sort of thing." And like it doesn't matter if she gets found out or not because she's in the phone booth. No one's gonna find out. Or anyway. And this is a very low level sort of like, all right, I need to get back to my roots sort of thing.
Yeah, wow. So is she primarily doing this to like just for the cash infusion, or just for the thrill of pulling off this deception and kind of swatting these tourists like flies here?
Yeah, the thing is they're flies, so it's not really, it can't really be for fun. It is more like I need some money, given I'm apparently being targeted, and I just drove through that truck, and there's a Russian guy with lightning from his fingertips yelling my name. I could do with some cash. So it's less for fun and more for profits. More for fun, maybe something a little more elaborate.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, you can clear your stress track or clear a condition. You have not roped in another PC as an accomplice, though.
Yeah, I don't think they'd have good. I don't think they'd look too fondly at this.
What are you choosing? Clearing the stress or clearing your condition, which is blunted?
Yeah. I think I can exist without condition. I'll clear some stress. Actually, Yeah. Clear stress. Sure, why not?
Yeah. How can we tell? As Emilie like leaves the phone booth, having place these calls and hopefully having cash wires incoming. How can we tell she's feeling a little more on top of things, a little less stressed out?
Well, she's left the tourist clapboard inside the phone booth, and she's taking off her coat, her hat, which she did manage to swipe before. Well, no, it's a completely identical hat, but it's not the same one.
I see. Completely identical hat, minus the bullet hole in the previous one.
Yeah. And yeah, she just kind of like puts it on. It's like, cool. What's next?
Does she like spin the hat before putting it on her head?
Yeah, she's feeling good. She's less stressed now.
Great. I just wanted to make sure to get that visual. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ready to take on the world. Okay. All right, but if I cut away there, Skye, after you walk away from this graveyard, not sticking around to smell the roses or pet the dogs or hang out with Ashleigh, what are you doing? Anything else you're doing during this moment of downtime?
Yeah. So Emilie is invited to this, but given where I'm going, I can understand if she says no. I'm going to go to a Russian ball, and I'm going to seduce me a handler. Not seduce into the bed, but like get them to take me on. And I'm going to also dance uninhibitedly. So like one of those wild tango sequences you see in films. So
clever.
Yeah.
So this is hitting your release move, which is dance uninhibited, and
refresh move. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, your refresh move, and also pulling in the entanglement you have taken. So just so we know, tell us about the advancement you chose. Also.
Sure. So I took the advancement of thread the maze. When you navigate the labyrinthine byways that link this city and the nether realm, tell us your goal and roll operator. On a hit, your goal, whether it be your mother or something valuable or an exit, is within sight. On a 7 to 9, there is a guardian, and on a miss, a trap has been sprung on you.
Right. So this is a move from the Wayward playbook, who's kind of a wayward child of night or winter or echidna, the mother of monsters. Now, in your case, though, taking this out of the playbook, I feel like this is more about some of your kind of ability to find things in the sewers of the city, right? Just like knowing some of those byways and passages. Absolutely.
Do you come along with me, Emilie? I'm inviting you to a ball to dance.
Sorry, I was in the wrong tab. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Okay. So if possible, I don't know if you want to roll for it, but if possible, I'd like to also trigger the move where I impress somebody who's not quite enough in awe of me by my dancing.
So that's a release move. Vane, show off to impress someone insufficiently in awe of you. I'm cool with you just describing that, right? Because it's up to Emilie whether she's impressed, but you can certainly have that goal to put her in awe. So tell us just a bit more about that dance.
Okay. I go up to the biggest, burliest Russian there, who's obviously important, but not an unimportant one. And
lots of medals on the uniform.
Right. And I get him to take off his jacket and get him to tango with me. And we clear the floor with our movements. And while we're dancing, I'm talking to him, asking for a name so that he can point me towards my new handler, Yelena Kozakova.
Yeah. A character we've added to the NPCs tab since you've chosen to take a Soviet handler here.
Yeah. And basically tell him, I don't know if this is going to put a fire in him or not, but like the kind of revenge that I'm looking for, and knowing that they have the prowess to pull it off. So all of that is part of the figurative and literal dance that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you find someone willing to dance with you, and he like gives you a little bow when the dance is over and says, "I would hate to be in a position for you to tread on my toes, miss. The woman you want is over there, Yelena Kozakova." Now, Emilie, here's the question: Are you put in awe by this display? Like, what is your reaction to this?
I think. Let's see this interaction. I think Emilie will be more impressed with the interaction with the with this getting this handler rather than specifically the dancing.
Okay.
The figurative dance rather than the literal dance.
So are you like hanging around the like outskirts of this dance floor, like champagne glass in hand? Like, what's your how are you positioning yourself in this party?
Yeah, I think she's got a champagne glass. She's like hobnobbing around. I think she got there later than Skye did. She was probably talking to someone she only barely remembers. Talking to, it's probably at some kind of party that had Ghost or something or whatever. And then she sees like Skye and this Russian dude just take the dance floor. It's just kind of like that's a lot of attention there.
That is one of Skye's signature moves. All right, yeah. We can hit some of these moves here. Yeah, when you dance uninhibited, you can clear a stress track or clear a condition. If you let another PC see you dance, pick both. So I think you managed to hit that, Skye.
Okay. But there's no way that I can make it 2 conditions, right? It's 1 condition and 1 stress track, right?
1 condition and 1 stress track.
Okay. All right. Stress track cleared. I think I'm no longer compromised, but I am still blunted. So, I still haven't recovered completely mentally to be able to harm and kill again. There's still some scars, some fear, not scars, fear from what happened to me, how close I got.
Yeah, you can check Vayne as well, which I think will mostly net you XP at this point, because the clearing stress is less relevant when you've managed to tango away your whole stress track.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, then let's go over to the edge of this dance, where a kind of impeccably dressed woman with with kind of dark hair, chin cropped at her chin, is watching with amusement and like raises a glass to you as you come over to her, Skye.
What do you think?
Of the dancing? She speaks English with the barest trace of an accent. Like, she's clearly traveled many places in her time.
Sure. So it's my assumption as a player that Yelena is high up enough to know about some of the players in the city. Would you say that is true?
Absolutely. Let's roll with that.
Okay. So as I vent a little bit of heat from my dress, I'm like, I was more wondering about my dossier, if it impressed you.
She smiles. Well, when someone levels a warehouse and leaves a smoking ruin, people do sit up and take notice.
I want that and more. And I understand that you might be able to help me with that.
I think we can help each other. She puts out a hand to you.
Yeah. So I don't think any of you have ever seen Skye really smile, but Emilie, you're now seeing Skye smiling. Like, actually, you probably saw her smiling when you were together, but now you're seeing me smile again, which is a rare event. And I guess we just go off and start talking in a more secretive place or something like that.
Yeah, likely so, or arrange a another time to meet or anything like that. But yeah, we're gonna say you've picked up a handler who's who's willing to help with your plotting against the one who currently holds your leash.
Yes.
Emilie, do you do anything else at this party, or are you just watching Skye try to wheel and deal here?
I think I'll go talk to Skye. Just
after Skye finishes her conversation with Yelena, you're going to approach her.
Yeah, I think she would just kind of come up and say, "Well, Dr. McTaggart, I didn't think he'd be able to dance that well."
Oh no, you're not jealous, are you? That was for show. That was so much for show.
That's not the dance I was talking about. It's yeah. And to be honest, darling, I live in a perpetual state of jealousy. That's why I'm like this.
Well, I hate to fan those flames, but yes, I found through my research that I wanted to work with this Yelena, and I made all this happen so that I could make that introduction. So I have to say, though, I have spent that dance.
Well, dance, a burning warehouse. It's a lot of expenditure for your mission.
It is, but I wouldn't be here dancing if it weren't for you and that truck coming back into the warehouse. So I couldn't be here without you.
Care for a dance?
I'd love to.
I was afraid I had to roll to convince you, but because
oh, do you want? Yeah, sure, I can be rolling.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's just but we already gonna say yes, so it doesn't matter.
Here's my question: are you offering comfort?
Yeah, yeah. I think this switch from make a stand to offer comfort. Absolutely. I mean, if she's willing to dance right here out in the open.
Yeah. Let people remember me.
People may remember both of you. Yeah, tell me one more thing about this dance, Emilie, and then roll plus streamer.
Yeah. Sadly, it's not as dance floor clearing or as attention grabbing as the previous dance that Skye just did. This is just to enjoy each other's company. And yeah, Emilie just admitted she's a bit jealous, but there you go. Yeah, I think this is more like this is the ball, this is a dance. I know there's wheeling and dealing, it happens, but that's a percentage of what happens here. The other percentage is remembering you're just that bit more alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll plus streamer for me.
Yeah, the one that I didn't clear condition. Amazing. Clearly, I thought this true. So that's a -1. Oh wow, I rolled an 11, so that's a 10. Well, that's never happened.
Yeah, I was really hoping you'd have to open yourself up to me with the 6-.
Yeah,
an iron.
Yeah,
wall,
no,
so to speak.
it's a. In fact, wow, actually, that's such a good dance. You're taking leverage over Skye. Right? Because the way offer comfort works, on a hit, you are both steadied and can clear a condition or a stress. On a 10+, take leverage over the person you comfort.
It's one less condition. So.
Skye, yeah. What is the leverage? Just that you've kind of intimated more of your feelings about Emilie in this back and forth, or what is it that leaves Emilie with leverage over you at the end of this dance?
Yeah, what you said. I think I'm falling for Emilie, and so I think it's her leverage over me. I never spend leverage. Is it like strings?
A tad. Check out the exert leverage basic move to see a way to do it. You also can just sort of like remind someone of leverage to try and to get an advantage on another roll. But exert leverage is its own move when you kind of bring to bear what leverage you have to try and get someone to do something. All right. If it's all right,
When you exert leverage, do you lose your leverage over someone, or
not necessarily? You decide if you're going to spend the leverage.
Okay.
You can just exert leverage and kind of give them a big list of options, or you can spend leverage to limit their options from that list.
So based off of what we just described, I think I lowered my guard, and I'm starting to care too much.
Let's note that down. Skye starting to care too much about Emilie, which does have a mechanical effect here. If Emilie gets hurt or betrays you, treat it as you taking serious harm. So we'll just remember that as well. Wonderful. I'm gonna, if it's all right, cut away from our pair dancing here, to Russian music and probably some whispers around this Russian dance floor, and cut to Ashleigh. And if it's all right, Ashleigh, can I have you returning to your apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Remind us what your apartment usually looks like. It's relatively sparse, I believe.
Yeah, it's bare. It's got some broken floorboards. It's got some wood that's falling from the ceiling in places. A lot of scattered, damaged wood, but some lovely sort of Beaux-Arts flourishes in the woodwork, which I like looking at absentmindedly. But there's no bed, there's no mirror. There's the thing that adorns it most is cobwebs.
And it sounds like no chair for a non-mannequin to sit down in either.
Nope.
Great.
No chair. The windows are all solid, which I appreciate. That's about it. So I've been trying half-heartedly to get some furniture, but no luck so far.
I believe Skye is supposed to deliver you some furniture as payment for your help with that last mission, but we'll assume that payment is still to be paid.
Did we actually agree on that? I forget.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Ashleigh, you enter the apartment, and standing waiting for you in the middle of it is a woman you recognize from Checkpoint Midnight, Val Atkinson.
Oh. Hello. I think people say I wasn't expecting anybody. Okay, I won't. Why shouldn't I be alarmed? You're in my home.
Inga is all right. She's
in fact
going to be opening up a much larger fruit stall thanks to the largesse of the Birkenfeld Consortium.
You mean Inga?
And that holds up the key that you previously gave Inga.
Well, That's the last time I lend that out to anybody. What do you want?
I feel we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. I noticed you and your compatriot weren't at our appointment to deliver the apple we discussed.
Yes, I'm afraid that became impossible. I'm also not sure, who you represent, what the Birkenfeld Consortium even is. Your accent says British, but in the end, we had to go with someone we were a little more familiar with.
She smiles ruefully. I may have presented myself poorly. I was under some strain as my apartment mysteriously burned down.
Oh, very sorry to hear that. A lot of things seem to be burning down lately.
Yes, I suspect it's not an accident. The Birkenfeld Consortium is an international body interested in the procurement and study of arcane creatures and artifacts.
I see. You collect us?
She smiles. Some people like you are among our most valued assets, Ashleigh.
Oh, well, I've heard people can be assets. In that case, I'm all right with that.
Yeah. She kind of nods encouragingly to you. You understand. I know it. You understand that apple is just the start of something, don't you?
I do. Yes. There's a lot more where that came from. I don't understand it, but I'd like to.
We are private about our work, but I can assure you, unlike those Americans you turn to, we have no interest in weaponizing these beautiful creatures.
What do you have an interest in?
Merely understanding and expanding our knowledge.
Well, I want that too, for me. I mean, there's just things I'm always trying to understand. And have you ever run across anybody who could make somebody like me?
She nods again. Let's work together, Ashleigh. If you bring me to the source of the apple, I will bring you to the maestro.
That's a fair trade. Yes. Okay. I don't know where it is yet, but I had a vision about it when I got this. And sort of the big scar.
Yeah, she like gasps just a tiny bit involuntarily and says, "May I?"
Yes. Be gentle.
Reaches out, like very gently taps the scar, and like a tiny little electrical tingle kind of leaps like out of it.
Ooh.
And kind of shocks her finger slightly. She pulls it back. She's like, "That's not just any scar, is it?"
No. The unusual things seem to keep happening to me.
Stick with me and they will keep happening to you, but hopefully in a better fashion.
I think we can enter into an arrangement.
All right. She puts her hand out to shake.
Oh yes, shaking hands. Yes, I'll shake her hand. I might hold her a little too hard, but I'm learning.
She does her best not to wince.
I was petting a dog just earlier today. I'm getting better at the thing.
Fascinating. Great. You got a new handler, Val Atkinson of the Birkenfeld Consortium, and it sounds like you've accepted a mission.
Yes.
And just so we have just so it's in our minds. What's the move you took with your advancement? Also,
My move is what's it? Was Tinker Tailor. That's right. When you throw together a device or disguise on the fly, roll plus Dreamer, and pick 1 or 2 depending on my success.
Yeah. So if you have that suitcase of clothes that the dishwasher of Checkpoint Midnight pulled out for you. So you've got some materials now. I'm excited to have you have a moment of rolling that move. Absolutely. All right. I want to call for a little break right here, and then we'll pick up again, possibly throwing all our operatives together to figure out their next steps. But I love some of those downtime scenes. So let's take a nice 10 minutes and return at a minute after 10 of. All right. See you all soon.
Just so you know, Alexi, I'm back.
Marvelous. Looks like we're waiting a moment. Hey, welcome back.
I'm glad you said something, Bucket, because I was so deep into my little side project. I forgot where I was.
All right, are we all back then?
Yeah.
So I said we would bring our operatives back together, and where better to do that than Checkpoint Midnight? Though I guess one other thing, Skye, is if in the meantime you check your dead drop from your leash holder, you've got a message there, as per usual, spelled out, in capitals written into the crossword of this newspaper, right? And it says, "Don't try that again, or your friends get disemboweled."
Disemboweled. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Wait, who's threatening Skye?
my leash holder.
Actually threatening us.
It's true. It's true. But clearly none too pleased with what went down at the warehouse that got that caught fire and got smashed twice by a truck.
Go ahead. Try to disembowel me. See what you get.
It's been done.
But just so you've got that message, before let's go to Checkpoint Midnight and see our operatives together to presumably try to figure out what they're doing next, how they're recovering from some of the difficulties of that last mission. Jack, in the nice kind of greenhouse back area of our checkpoint, what subtle sign do you pick up of tension in the air today at Checkpoint Midnight?
I think Ashleigh isn't noticing that there are cigarette butts in the ashtrays.
Oh,
If that's okay with you.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think that signifies?
You're distracted.
Hmm.
Your mind's on something else. Because normally you'd be like looking at a cigarette butt in an ashtray like you were starving and it was food.
I do want to tell you all about the vision, though.
Could be that's part of what's on your mind, and
Yeah.
then and you're kind
I'm
of
like
waiting for your
lightly
chance.
fingering the gash.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Emilie, are you here and like in what attitude, if you are?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm on my 4th bagel. No, scone, sorry. I'm on my 4th scone, and please don't disturb me. This jam is really, really nice kind of mood. She's reading the paper. Here it is, but she's keeping an eye out because she doesn't forget who gave her back her Luger. So she's always keeping an eye out for that, just in case.
I see. Keep an eye out for Victoria, your old flame.
Slippery minx, that one.
A creature of the night, indeed. Yeah, great. So we got a couple distracted operatives at this table. Skye, what do we see as we get? Say we have like the camera like panning around around this little table. What do we see when it turns to you?
I'm leaned back in my chair so that there's only 2 legs on the ground, and I'm reading a book, and I have very carefully removed the cover from another book and attached it to this book, because this book is How to Speak Russian.
You've just got a Russian language book, but you've like stuck a different cover on. Like, what? Say again?
Cities.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah, so it's just like a Dickens cover, just disguising this
Right.
extremely suspicious Russian language text you're reading. Beautiful. Yeah. So Jack, you immediately noticed that that something seemed to be eating Ashleigh. What do you do?
I wonder, do I? Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have a move that does anything with this, but I wonder if there is basic move. I want to decipher.
Yeah, take time to decipher a person or situation.
Yeah.
Who or what are you deciphering? Like, what are you trying to figure out? Okay, so Jack's just like staring levelly at Ashleigh. What do we see as you are trying to put the pieces together here?
Please, I'm an operator. I don't look directly at anybody. No, I'm by all appearances, I am enjoying a cup of steaming hot coffee, black, and I'm reading a newspaper. An English language paper, of course, because I'm an American, and God forbid we speak anything other than English.
God forbid.
I mean, you don't know if you're all American.
Look, I am at least partly American, and to Jack, that's good enough.
Fair enough.
Everything else could, all the other parts could come in through Ellis Island, right? Everyone's American. I am the melting pot in practice.
That is quite a statement of what it means to be American, and I'm here for it. Go ahead and roll plus operator, because it sounds like you're definitely using your skills as an operator to read the room.
It's checkpoint midnight. No supernatural skills allowed.
True.
Good point.
That's a complete miss.
Great.
Better at using my violence than I am at reading people.
What do you ask?
You still ask one, but you're in the MC's hands. Great.
What's going on under the surface?
Yeah, you can tell that Ashleigh's got something she wants to say, and like maybe if it's all right with you, Ashleigh, maybe you even like look at an empty chair at this table that was like where Val was sitting when she met with you guys previously. Yeah. So like Ashleigh has something to say, and like is clearly thinking about the that time Val Atkinson tried to hire you all, and then you ended up blowing her off. So like while you're processing that,
I blew her off because she tried to blow me up. So
tried to blow you up is an interpretation. Sorry, what were you saying, Ashleigh?
I'm not going to tell you about Val. I'm just going to tell you about the tree.
Cool. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Sure.
I'm just going to also say that as Jack is starting to put this together, there's a polite throat clearing, and the proprietor of the checkpoint, Herr Franz, is kind of like standing right over Jack's shoulder, and he sets down a tray with some like small cookies on it, right? Little baked goods. He says, "Compliments of the house," and then sort of observing to no one in particular, he says, "It doesn't take a genius, of course, to realize that this city is an international incident waiting to happen. So I trust, he says, looking at like each of you and then like ending looking at Jack. I trust that whatever you're getting up to out there, and it's none of my business what you're getting up to out there, but I trust that whatever you're doing, you're not making such an incident more likely, because that is bad for business.
I look at him and say, Herr Franz, my dear friend, we have many friends in this city of many nationalities. We don't seek to tip the balance of power, nor do we seek to make it any more difficult to live here. We are but simple folk, taking on simple tasks to make our way in a very confusing and complex world. And I smile at him.
He reaches down and takes one of the biscuits from the tray that he just placed, and he says, "Very well, but I'll hope and pray not to hear of any more buildings reduced to rubble in the process of these simple tasks." And like in a friendly way, just kind of like wraps the cookie on your shoulder, Jack, pops it into his mouth and leaves, leaving just 3 cookies on the tray and none for you.
I was just going to say, well, it appears I've been a bad boy, and as such, I do not get a biscuit.
You can have
What
one.
happened? Oh, that's nice. I
This is my fault anyway.
I'm going to take my biscuit and just sort of hold it and smell it. Jack, what happens when you drink coffee and eat eggs and sausage? Like, what happens? Like, do you still work in there?
That's an interesting question. Do you have an answer for that, Jack?
I hope I'm not being, what's the word?
Forward?
Rude? Forward? Thank you. Forward.
You're always forward, Ashleigh. You do border on rude.
Oh, I'm just curious.
Skye isn't wrong, but because of you, I know you mean no harm.
I think Constance is like tisking in my ear too, yeah.
Yeah, Constance is like, "Remember, Ashleigh, remember, people don't like answering questions about their insides."
Oh, okay, right. Anyway, hi, Jack. Yes, thank you.
Things work for a sufficient value of work. When I drink coffee, I still feel caffeinated and more alert. And when I eat food, it still comes out, if that's what you're asking, Ashleigh.
Yes, and it's not some sort of disaster in there. I just...
Oh, it's very
Yeah.
much a disaster, but it's still it's a mishmash of odds and ends. And
Okay.
a doctor tried to explain it to me at one time, and it was too complicated for me because I'm not a doctor. But what I came away from it with was, it's a miracle that anything functions inside me.
Okay. All right.
So at least on this, we have something in common.
I guess, yeah. I can. When I eat and drink this stuff, I just end up coughing it back out later. It's all sort of like a hairball. So I mostly just smell things.
Emilie, how are you taking this this back and forth at this table here?
Oh, she's hidden her face with a newspaper. She does not want to have to deal with this. She's like the most normal out of everyone on this table.
So strange.
Look, you guys, listen. I mean, you people. When I was hit by the lightning, I had a vision of a tree full of golden apples, and it said, "Find me." And
He folds the newspaper down at hearing golden apples. Go on.
Alexi, did I have a sense of it, of where it was? It was underground?
You had a sense it was under the city, yeah.
So, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we look in the sewers. Did I get a sense of its surroundings? What it looked like, or was it just the tree?
Yeah, we'll say you can. Actually, you know what? You had just that flash of a vision. If you want to like close your eyes and try to call up that image and like maybe get more of a sense of what you're going for, that might be getting spooky by letting out your inhuman side.
Excellent. I'm gonna run a steel fork along my little fissure to try to get those sparks going.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
my own fingers are insulators, but the fork, I think I can get something going there.
Oh, we see another little tiny arc. Go ahead and roll plus Fable, and we'll see how that goes.
Excellent. Let's see here. I have to just get to the roller here. That's an 8. 8 total.
Included is your Fable's a 0?
0, yeah.
Got it. All right. Yeah. You get to choose 2. The world warps to your will. So I'll definitely give you a way to get a few more details on that vision. But you are going to have to choose 2 from these kind of consequences of Get Spooky.
Right. I like marking a stress and my powers do things beyond what I imagined.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So like you drag this fork along your scar here, and there is like a flash, right, of electricity as something kind of arcs from your wound to the metal, and you, Ashleigh, kind of closing your eyes, you see again that tree, and now you're looking around, right? Now you're trying to actually like see not just the tree but its surroundings, and you see what are clearly the walls of the sewers, and you see there's passages coming from all different directions. It looks like it's growing up at somewhere that's kind of a crossroads of the sewer system, and there are kind of like lightning scars both on the tree itself and on some of the stones around. So you have a sense of some kind of a conflict having recently taken place in this place. But yeah, you get that image like clear as day, and then like open your eyes, and for a moment it's like it's like you're seeing double between that vision and the people around the table, and the rest of you. As Ashleigh does this, first you see that little like spark of electricity, and then you start hearing like indistinct whispers coming from all of the plants in the greenhouse. It's like they're all like swaying and moving a little bit, but you don't feel any wind, and there's these sounds coming from them. So Ashleigh, what do you do?
Well, I didn't want to attract attention because, of course, we're in Checkpoint Midnight.
Yeah, it's bad to do that.
But
I think some people are looking around in confusion, but no one's looking over at you, right.
Okay, all right. So the plants are whispering. I'm going to sort of open my eyes and be like, it's almost like I can hear the plants whispering.
But
they're trying to tell me something.
Can hear that too.
Isn't that funny? I'm sure nobody else can hear that, but there's a junction room in the sewers, scarred by lightning, and a tree equally scarred, covered in golden apples. It wants me to find it. If only I could hear what the plants are saying. If only anyone else could hear it.
Emilie, Skye, any reactions to this?
Well, I close my book. I sit up and God, why are you being like kind of hypocritical of me to be like, why are you drawing so much attention to yourself? It's so hypocritical. Actually, I may be able to help you find what you're looking for.
Oh, yes?
Yes. And if I do, given how hard it's been on me, I'm going to have to replace finding that for you with the furniture that you asked for because I can't seem to procure it.
Well, I'll talk to Otto about the furniture. It'll cost me something, but then you do owe me. I'm learning about obligations.
I am ready to fulfill that obligation.
Okay.
Outside of here.
Yes. I would hate to no longer be able to get one of those excellent torts. They smell really good. They probably taste good too. Yeah.
Does that mean that if not doing anything supernatural at Checkpoint Midnight is a tort law?
Oh. And on that groaner, Emilie, I want to get your reaction here. We've got Ashleigh recounting this vision. We've also got audible plant whispers around. Well, we've got audible but indistinct plant whispers all around this greenhouse area.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of on board once she was told there were golden apples, and Ashleigh, God bless them, they're not the type to pull the wool over your eyes, or are they? No, they aren't. I think like once the pun was, well, actually I don't know if the pun was made in character, but
yeah, I think that was just for our benefit as players.
Okay, good. I think like she just kind of like folds the newspaper. It's just actually I don't know if you need help for this, but I'll help. But this tree of yours, is it in a giving mood, you think?
Mood?
Okay, that's a foolish question, I suppose. But then again, I'm hearing a lot of voices right now, so I assume plants do have some kind of mood.
You too? Well, this tree is battle scarred. So if there's a mood, it might be shell shock.
I'll be nice to it. Don't worry.
Okay. But it also is yearning because it wants me to find it. Us. I think it wants us to find it.
But then we're gonna go find it. And she kind of like gives this smile that is like, yeah, I'm true breakfast. I'm true to morning. I'm smiling.
All right.
Jack, how are you reacting to this?
I'm looking at Emilie because I have a sneaking suspicion that Emilie is looking for a payday as opposed to the joy and payoff of helping a friend.
What an interesting suspicion. Do you give voice to it in any way?
I think I would just give a slight knowing smile to Emilie. Like, I know your game. I know what you're up to.
I think I sent back I've received your knowing smile, and here is one of mine in return smile. This happens a lot, apparently.
Just knowing, smiling at each other.
We're operators. We know we can practice. Given how much we work together, we practically know what the other people are thinking.
Strange kind of friendship, really.
Ashleigh, you see Jack is engaged in a knowing smile off with Emilie, but hasn't reacted to your discussion of the tree. What do you do?
I say, you two are doing a thing, but are you going to help me find this tree? I mean, imagine if one golden apple was valuable, a whole tree full of them could be very valuable, and could make who knows how many weird lightning devices.
My dear Ashleigh, don't you know by now that if you need help, I'll be there?
Oh, great. That's
You
great.
didn't even have to ask.
Oh, thanks, Jack. You're the best. Wow. There's Constance, but right behind Constance, there's you.
Constance in your ear is like, I do not trust him to that extent. Remember how many buildings you have seen him destroy? Great. A waiter drops off a tiny tray with a note on it in front of you, Jack.
This obviously is important, so I'm going to pick up the note and read it.
Yep. It's Trip, though he probably signs it. BB Roman numeral 4, and
like in little quotes, Trip, like it's his nickname.
Yeah. And he says, the note just says, new lead, new mission. Meet here in an hour.
Here at Checkpoint Midnight, or here it as an address?
Here at Checkpoint Midnight, it sounds like he means.
Okay. Well, considering I'm already here, why not?
What do you say? What do you say to your friends?
Ashleigh, when do you plan to go looking for this tree?
As soon as possible. It must be highly coveted by all sorts of different factions. So whenever you all can be free, but right away.
I find myself with a bit of business to attend to. It's here, but I would be unable to depart for, and I look at my watch, approximately an hour and a half, perhaps 2 hours.
Okay, this is business too, Jack. I mean,
this is. You are not wrong.
okay.
But it also strikes me that you may be the only person in the city who has even an idea of where this thing may be. So it is more than likely than not safer than you might be worrying about.
Okay, I just want to say I saw a lot of lightning scars on the tree and around the tree, like there was a fight that had just happened there. So it may not be quite as secret as we would like it to be.
Ashleigh, are you making a stand?
Ooh, sure.
You make a stand to sway someone to your cause?
I don't do this often because normally I just really look up to Jack. Okay, so plus Dreamer. Let's try it. My Dreamer is 2. It's a 9.
Okay, So the stand is you're trying to convince Jack to waste no time, right, and help you with this tree mission. Is that correct?
Yes, try to give priority to the things I want to do as opposed to.
Can you spend leverage to give yourself a +1 bonus or anything like that?
You do have leverage
not-
on me, don't you?
Oh, you can remind Jack of leverage to take advantage here and roll an extra dice and see if the top 2 dice are better.
Oh wow!
Like as long as let's see, you do have leverage on Jack.
Let me see.
Twice
Yeah,
over.
you got 2 leverage
Yes,
on
I
Jack.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remind him a little of why you have that leverage, which I think is partially that he knows on some level you're important to the future, and also just you've had his back in previous missions. Does that sound right, Jack? As far as why that leverage is there?
That, and we've talked about what it feels like to be the only beings in this little crew that have been constructed and made.
Right. Jack, I know you're going to do what you have to do, but there aren't a lot of people like you and me. And I think we need to stick together. And I don't often ask you for something, but I'm asking you now.
Go ahead and roll.
You have to roll the other die.
Yeah, actually roll one more dice.
That's a 5. So 5 + 4 plus my 2 is 11.
Okay, now that's an 11 on Make a Stand. So on a hit, you command their attention. PCs who follow your lead can clear a condition or mark XP. On a 10+, if they don't follow your lead, they have to show more of themselves than they meant and lower their guard. So the choice still belongs to the person you're making the stand to, but what this means is there's an incentive to follow your lead, and there's a consequence to not following your lead. And Jack, I'd love to know, what do you do?
I think for a moment and say, Ashleigh, you're absolutely right. You've been a steadfast friend. Give me one moment.
Thank you, Jack.
And I signal to the waiter for a pen. And scribble, called away, will return soonest. Talk then. Jay.
Oh, wow. That's going to cause so many problems, I'm sure. That's awesome. Thank you.
Very good. Well, are we ready to embark on a mission together here?
Yeah.
Can only end better than last time, maybe.
Last time ended very
we have
well.
way
What are you
way
even
less
talking
stress.
about? Last time, it ended spectacularly.
That's for sure.
I imagine that I'm using my Thread the Maze move to get us there. I don't know if I would do that before or after we rolled the embark on a mission move.
Let's take a look. Yeah. It's a cool new move. It's honestly probably a little more forgiving than the embark on a mission move. So why don't we roll that to get started here, and go ahead and remind us a little about how the move works, and tell us kind of what it looks like as you start, as you bring your fellow operatives down into the byways that you've started to learn about. Now you gave away your map, but you were able to absorb, I guess, some of the ability to get your bearings in these the sort of underside of the city, huh?
I was able to kind of internalize it by feeling the water and the ink in the map.
Clever.
I have a feeling that the map itself was actually probably a little bit supernatural to begin with. That it helps people find things. And so that's how I absorbed this ability with the byways. We come to that 4-part manhole thing in the Third Man, where people seem to be able to run into the sewers whenever they want to.
You can just run into the sewers. Absolutely.
late at night. Oh no, this is during the day.
Yeah, you guys left immediately from the checkpoint.
That's right. Okay. Well, surreptitiously we get into the sewers. Actually, I know a place near where I live that is where I always start, and a little bit out of the way. So we'll start there.
Great, because relatively few people go walking by, so there's a way to access the sewers without being spotted by someone saying like, "Hey, authorized personnel only."
Right. And
you're stronger than you look, so you can easily hoist the thing open.
Yeah, exactly. And I bring everyone down, and while it does smell like a sewer, I've prepared kerchiefs with a little bit of water in them, and people can put that over their nose and mouth, and it will stay pure as long as they're around me. And I just put my hand into the water, which is clear for me, and then I'm off like a bloodhound.
So did you say you dove into the water though?
No,
or you're wading through it.
I put my hand in the water, which is clear, and I feel what I need to feel, and I stand up and I'm running along the sewers.
Got it. Cool. So it the murk kind of disperses as you reach down, and you get this this cool clear patch of water just for you, Skye. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Let's roll to thread the maze.
Okay, it says that is operator, I believe. Let's see. Operator. And my operator is a 0. So does Ashleigh's description of it give me any sort of advantage on the roll?
Plausibly, especially if Ashleigh's willing to mark a stress and provide aid here. What do you think, Ashleigh? Oh, you're muted.
I'm muted. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
So I mark a stress. Do I need to roll, or is just
no? You're just when you provide aid, mark a stress to give a PC advantage or disadvantage on a roll. So this is also how you get in the way and interfere with someone if that ever came up.
Would never. Awesome.
Okay. 6 plus 2 is an 8.
Okay. Good thing you had that advantage there. Huh?
Yeah, right.
6 plus 2, it's an 8. So you are, let's see, looking at the move. On a hit, your goal is within sight, and your goal is this tree, right? This tree festooned with golden apples that seems to be growing beneath Vienna. On a 7 through 9, you encounter a threshold guardian. That's great. Yeah. So as you approach, so Skye, you're leading the way, or Ashleigh, have you kind of come up with her, as you're getting closer to the tree, kind of hearing just a little tingle of it reaching out to you.
I'm gonna come on up. Yeah.
Yeah. So the two of you are in front as you round a bend and get your first in-person view of this tree. It's the wood looks ordinary, right? Save for the fact it's down here in a sewer, it looks more like a normal tree, but the apples on it, are each kind of giving off light. It doesn't seem like they're just reflecting whatever ambient light has made its way down into the sewers. It seems like light is coming from these small golden fruit. None of them are as big as the one you acquired before, but there are dozens of budding apples on this tree, and kind of the golden light plays over the mucky sewer water as you approach, and then you you hear someone yell, "Get back! No one approaches the tree." And there's a sound of a gun cocking. You don't see where this person is, but you hear that voice and that unmistakable sound effect. What do you do?
I step out in front of everybody else with my arms out because I can stop bullets. It's not pleasant, but
Could I send
All right.
Ushi after them?
Ooh,
did you what?
Ushi the dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sanushi, yes.
bringing in our spectral hound friend. Yeah. So have you brought Ushi along the whole way, or is it one of those moments where you look around and realize suddenly Ushi is there?
Ushi's a good dog. Ushi can make her own decisions. Sometimes she
All right.
follows, sometimes she just shows up when she thinks there might be something necessary that she can do. Right now, I'm pretty sure that a spectral hound can hear the sound of a gun cocking at someone that she likes from across the town and probably need to actually physically travel. So
Yeah. So at there's just there's large a large dog with gray fur and a trace of spectral blue fire around it that is suddenly at your heels, Jack. What do you do?
Ushi, get him. That is a 10 on
roll.
the dice, and plus 2 is a 12.
Ushi is man's best friend, isn't she?
Ushi is a good dog.
So the dog takes off, right? On a 10 plus, the creature acts as you want. So Ushi goes charging past. There's like a yell, and a bullet ricochets off the side of the sewer. But whoever was steadying the gun did not think a dog was going to be running at them. So Ushi is unscathed. She charges past the tree, and you hear a splash and a clatter and a growl, and from over there someone saying, What is this thing? Call it off!
First, you're going to answer some questions for us. My friend would like to know things. And I gesture to Ashleigh.
I'm going to walk toward where the voice was. Is it around the corner?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's behind the tree. Someone was camped up behind the tree, and so if you follow the direction where you hear Ushi's growling, right, you'll see this woman kind of lying prone in the sewer water that's pooling up around the roots of this tree. Unclear how deep these go, right? Because they're it's growing up out of the water, but are they reaching down into the city's foundations below? Hard to say. But yeah, you see this African American woman. She the American accent in the few words you've heard so far. Is lying on her back. She's wearing paramilitary clothes. There's a sniper rifle fallen in the water next to her, and a big dog sitting on her chest, growling in her face. And she says, "Who are you with? Are you with the Russians?"
Kato.
Wait, you're asking a lot of questions for somebody in your situation. I'm going to give Ushi a little scritch behind the ears.
Yeah, the dog, the dog turns to you, gives a happy yap, and then turns back down to the woman on the ground and growls at her in her face again.
I'm going to stand on the sniper rifle with what I assume is my considerable weight, and say, "Who are you working for? How did you find this place?" So that's probably a move.
Yeah, let me see. I mean, to be honest, right? You're just trying to get some information out of this person. It might be deciphering a person.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you think that Ashleigh has leverage over this woman, she could exert leverage and comply with what you want.
Yeah,
I could put one knee on her chest and
Have literal leverage.
literal leverage.
very literal leverage. You know what? I mean, we got a big success on the Ushi move, and I feel like we can just follow the fiction and say you do have leverage. So if you want to exert that leverage for answers, we can definitely do that.
Okay. Let's see.
So when you exert your leverage over someone, say what you want from them, then remove an option below, and then they choose from the list. So with the and you can just exert the leverage and remove one option. You can spend the leverage and remove an additional option. But yeah, you're constraining my choices and the NPC's choices to this shorter list here.
That's a great mechanic. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to take away Weasel out by giving you leverage to hold. Ooh, actually, that's an interesting one. Definitely taking away Brazen it out by marking a condition. And
yeah, not an option when you're flat on your back in the sewers.
Yeah, and I will also I'll spend the leverage to take away promise you something else they think you want.
Got it. All right. So you took that leverage, you spent that leverage, and her options are either comply, weasel out, or cut a deal. Yeah. Remind me. So say again exactly what you want in this situation. What were you pushing for again?
I want to know how she found this place and who she came here on behalf of.
Good question.
Now maybe I only get one of those, in which case.
I think she'll comply with that. Yeah. She says the tree is special. It's not just some specimen for someone to collect. It chose me. It chose me to protect it, and it called me here. And I'm not going to let you take this fruit to the British. She's clearly just like guessing wildly, trying to figure out who you're working for.
I think I have a pretty good poker face. Since I spent my leverage, I'm going to stand up off of her and off of her weapon. But I'm not going to answer that. I say the tree called me here too. I'm going to reach down my hand toward her to help her up.
Oh man! All right, offering her a helping hand. She looks at it suspiciously for several moments, and then she says, "Will you call this dog off?"
Oh, I can't. Jack, what do you think?
I'll pick up the sniper rifle.
It's a little waterlogged.
I can repair this. Ushi, heal.
Don't worry about my hand. It's a prosthetic. The other one is too.
Great. So, I would make you roll for that if you were really trying to to fool someone in a totally convincing way. But I feel like she's got other stuff on her mind. So
the whole thing's a prosthetic. Yeah.
She'll just look confused for a moment, but take your hand as you pull her up from the waterlogged ground here. Emilie, you've overheard some of these goings on. You're also down in the sewers again for the first time since you maybe nearly drowned here in a body bag weighted down with rocks. I want to know what are you thinking about all this?
Yeah, I think I've been hanging around the back. They're all doing their own thing. They're heading up the course. I am actually trying to get my bearings from when I was here. I think it's a decipher. This place.
Oh, interesting. You just want to like get some insight into this whole situation and whether it has to do with the time you got nearly drowned.
Yeah, I'm multitasking. Like I'm here if they need me, but it sounds like they don't need me. So I'm just like hanging at the back, looking around. We're dealing with this woman who carries a sniper rifle in a sewer. Like, come on, like it's not even. Why a sniper rifle? Anyway, that is with operator. Okay, operator's pretty good. Ooh, just barely made it. That's a 7.
Okay. All right. You get to ask one from the decipher list.
Yeah, what's going on under the surface?
Ooh. And give me just a bit more of a sense of what you're where you're kind of directing that question, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm guessing like we're kind of like on the mouth of this like tunnel, and we're just kind of like surrounded this woman. I think Emilie is like looking around, like over to what the woman was guarding, and just around them. And because lots of tunnels parallel to each other, connecting to each other. I guessing she's trying to get a sense of what around here is like this apple, apparently, or like if there's anything weird going on, or if there's any movement going on. I think if we just get a shot of like as these people are like Skye and Ashleigh and Jack are talking around this woman, Emilie's looking away from them, looking around the walls.
Yeah. Yeah. So for one thing, now that you're here, you're able to spot the kind of the lightning scars that Ashleigh had been telling you about, and probably if you take a look at the tree, you'll see a sort of a scarred branch, like one branch that perhaps once kind of came out from the tree in a dramatic fashion is now like gnarled and scarred, and there's like a little like crispy bit of what was clearly the stem of an apple, and it's longer than the stems of these the tiny apples on the tree. And so you think maybe that apple you stole was one plucked from this tree, the most developed of the apples that this tree had borne.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. You're walking over to the tree?
Yeah, I mean they've got this. They've got the guard handled.
What are you doing, Emilie?
They can all see me, so I'm not taking anything. I'm just kind of like touching where the scars are and looking at these budding apples. And I think I just kind of ask, Ashleigh, do you know exactly what you're meant to do here?
The tree wanted me to find it. After that, I'm still not going to tell them about Val. I'll say I'm not sure what else the tree wanted, right? Because I can't quite lie.
That's true. You can't quite lie.
Well, you're here now. I suppose something should happen. I think Emilie's like touching a tiny apple. It's but she's not plucking it. She's just touching it.
Just touching it. All right, Skye, where are you? What are you doing? As this goes down.
I think I'm just on the lookout for like someone coming after us. Like I'm the lookout at this point. I've gotten us here. Like it's Ashleigh's thing now to figure out what she wants. we easily took care of the guardian. So I'm just
keeping
something else coming after us.
Keeping an eye out. Absolutely. Yeah. So Ashleigh, Constance, your little ladybug companion, buzzes in your ear and says, "You've brought your friends down into this. You owe them the truth, Ashleigh."
I'm going to touch an apple. Does anything happen?
Oh yeah, there's like a musical chime as your finger comes into contact with this little apple.
That's so transcendently beautiful. I might be swayed by Constance's words. I happen to know that other people are looking for this tree because I told one of them I would find it for her.
Really?
Who?
Okay, Constance, shut up. Val.
Val?
Val, yeah.
The woman who tried to kill me.
I don't know for a fact that she tried to kill you. I do know that she seems to know what she's doing, which is a big difference between her and someone like Trip.
Look.
Wow. Actually, as you say this, the woman that you helped up from the ground swears, and she says, "The Atkinson woman? Even after I burned her friggin' apartment?"
Oh, hey, you weren't supposed to hear that. These are my friends. I don't know you.
I look at the woman on the ground and say,
She's up now. I helped her up.
"My dear."
I'm quite angry. I'm going to let you go. I just want to say, I'm quite angry, and you're having to hold me back because I want to throttle this person that burnt down that building.
I'm holding Skye back.
Okay, yeah. So Emilie is holding Skye back. No one's watching the entrances at this point.
Well, Uchi's around.
Great.
What did the lady say that she tried to burn down Val's apartment?
Yeah, when you said Val Atkinson, she swore and expressed her unhappiness that Val was persisting in seeking the tree even after apparently this person burned her apartment building down.
Wow.
Try and hold her back on that.
There's a lot of fire going on around here. So now Skye is trying to throttle me?
No.
Skye's charging at this lady. Emily's holding her back for the moment.
Oh.
"My dear, what is your name?" I say to the woman that was previously on the ground.
She looks around. Vesta. Yours?
Vesta?
Yeah, what of it?
And you're American.
By birth.
I'm Ashleigh.
My name's Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Name's Emilie. Hi, nice to meet you.
And Skye, you're still trying to get at her?
No, but I'm not talking to her either.
Yeah, she looks. She's like,
"Wait a
"Is that the
minute,
Rusalka?"
rifle? That rifle? That was you? That fucking hurt." Someone with the sniper rifle shot me through my gut.
Oh.
And Vesta, who are you with? Or should I say, who were you with?
These are important questions, Vesta.
Once upon a time, there was a group called the Sons of the Eagle. We were fools, thinking the war was just a playground, and we could pick up what we wanted from the broken pieces of Europe. But then I saw the light. I touched a bough that had been taken from this tree or one like it, and I had a vision. And I knew I had to find the new tree of the Hesperides and guard it from those who would try to make it a weapon, turn it to their purposes. Hesperides, she says again, like you're stupid.
You'll have to excuse me. And at this point, I think I'm going to reveal one of my more egregious scars, like roll up my sleeve to show where this arm was clearly surgically reattached to me and say, I'm not who I once was.
That's great. There's a move for revealing old scars, but I think you don't have it. But so like she does like do like a double take and like raise her eyebrows at the scar you reveal, and around that time Ushi starts barking furiously.
I shake the rifle to get as much water out of it as I can, and I hand it back to her.
If you kind of meet in the game, you could spin a stress to use a move you don't have.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would break things. It's an interesting idea.
But for the moment, we've got a barking watchdog, and it sounds like Jack is rearming your new friend here.
Frenemy?
Vesta, please don't shoot any of us.
Oh yeah, that would hurt.
And I open my coat, pull out the Tommy gun.
Just carrying that around.
Well, it is a rather large coat.
And
all right.
Emilie, you feel that electrical tingle and hear that crackle. Your senses that whoever's on the other end of the sound of boots coming down one of these sewer passages, your old friends who were flinging lightning around might be in the mix.
Okay.
You were pretty upset about finding out who was responsible for that sniper bullet you took. Jack has just handed her back her rifle. I want to know, what are you doing?
I think I'll do the not smart thing and get up in Jack's face at this point, even though we've got like people coming after us. And
Even though you've got company incoming.
Right. I'm like, you cannot arm this woman. She nearly killed me. Like, this is probably her goons coming. We'll have her back to her. She'll take
Does
our
this
heads
woman
off.
look like she has goons? Look at her.
Does this woman look like she has a tree growing golden apples? No, she looks like an American. Yeah, I think I'm standing up for something. Right?
Yeah, let's have you roll it.
Okay. I'm just trying to find the move. I don't know how the move memorized yet, so...
Oh yeah, no worries. The basic moves tab has them in it, and it's a roll plus dreamer.
Okay. And you make a stand to sway someone to your cause, roll dreamer. Okay.
Oh, crap. I just realized that I actually mark... So you're supposed to mark XP when you concede on make a stand?
Yeah, you can clear a condition to mark XP for it, yeah.
Okay.
Does that get you an advancement, Jack?
It does actually get me an advance.
Well, sounds like we know a move from your playbook you might be interested in.
Yeah, I was also looking at this machine kills fascists, but...
To be fair, Ashleigh has that, surprisingly enough. Though you got a powerhouse team if multiple people are wielding that move, certainly. All right, Skye, you're standing up for something. What was your roll there?
I got an 8.
And your dreamer?
It's 0. I got an 8.
All right. Yeah, on a so on a hit, you command their attention. So Jack can't brush you off. On a 7 through 9, if they follow your lead, they can clear a condition or mark XP. On a 7 through 9, if they don't follow your lead, they mark a stress or at a disadvantage acting against you. So you've got kind of you've got a choice here, Jack. Following Skye's lead or marking stress or taking a. Actually, I think marking stress is the most pertinent one.
Okay. Well, let me be the person who's coming up with the details. Skye hasn't actually asked me to do anything.
I mean, she said, "Don't
Skye,
arm this woman."
No, she hasn't said don't arm this person. She said you just gave them their gun back. That's not saying don't arm this person.
I think the message was pretty clear, but okay.
Skye, what was the intention of swaying Jack to your cause? What did you want out of him?
Trusting Vesta in any way, especially entrusting her with a weapon with our backs to her. But I think I don't want him to trust her.
Who said that?
Okay, well now
we're 4 people. She's an extra gun.
Yeah, that's trust.
Well, okay, so I didn't do the move correctly. I didn't make a specific stand. So I guess I'm just arguing in Jack's face for nothing while the people come up against us.
I mean, it doesn't sound like nothing to me. It sounds like it's like you rolled the move, you commanded his attention. Yeah. I think Jack, if you're
this is why I'm asking what specifically are you at, because Ashleigh was saying I want you to come with me right now, regardless of what Tripp says. So that is clear. Making that stand, saying I want you to do this. So I'm not. I think the point. I'm just asking for clarity here.
Sure.
What do you want me to do?
I think the point is to not give her a gun.
What do you do, Jack?
Yeah, I'm okay with you telling me to shut up and get ready. I'm the one being an idiot here.
In this case, I'll mark distress and say, we have Ushi. And Ushi already took her down once.
Okay. I think Skye is pissed and all that. And again, I think Jack, Jack is doing the right thing. I just wanted to play her, not quite as professional.
That's okay.
Yeah. So,
and to be fair, it takes a lot of professionalism to let getting shot by a sniper rifle, just be water under the bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were also kind of mixing 2 discussions, the in-character discussion as well as the player discussion.
Sure.
I think Skye's reaction is completely is very understandable.
Okay.
Jack's just doing math here, and it's we are currently 4 people with guns. We can be 5 people with guns. 5 people with guns pointing them at the enemy is better than 4 people with guns pointing them at the enemy. We'll settle your difference later.
Yeah. I put a finger in your face, and then I just huff off and try to get into a position where I can't be seen.
Nice. Yeah. So as we have that we have that exchange, there's clearly some tension among our operatives. We also hear there's a roll of thunder and then a kind of electrical crackle comes sparking out of the tunnel, ahead of whoever is coming. The tree takes another scar from this lightning striking it. and the enemy is approaching. And with that, let's go for a little break and be back at 5 after. Take a quick break.
Woohoo. Thank you. Sorry I got in a huff there, guys. I appreciate you helping me work through it.
What huff?
Don't you worry.
Well, the way I reacted to the whole move thing, just
That's all good.
okay.
I think as we open again, we're gonna get a little cutaway up to Checkpoint Midnight, up above in the sunlit, sector of the city, and we see Trip, Bradley Bushwick IV, sitting at a table. He's got like Jack's note. He looks around, checks his watch again, crumples up the note, says like under his breath something like, I can't believe this. Walks around and examines one of the flowers more closely, and it still seems to be moving a little bit in that unseen breeze. He pulls out a pocket knife and cuts the flower, and then holds it to his ear. And we cut away from Trip at Checkpoint Midnight back down into the sewers, where it's hard to tell exactly how many people are coming, but there seems to be a large number of people coming, thundering down this sewer corridor. A lightning bolt just flashed out ahead of them, hit the tree. None of you got electrocuted at that moment. However, you are noticing there is a lot of water around, and that is a conductor. Ashleigh, you brought your friends down here. You have found the tree that has been calling to you, but it seems like other less friendly people have also found this tree. I'd like to know, what do you do?
Oh boy. I don't know what the wood of this tree does. I don't want to hurt the tree. I guess I'm just going to wade toward the sound so that whoever's there attacks me first.
Yeah, you're approaching the enemy.
And if I have time, I'll hide myself right on the lip of the tunnel they're coming from. I don't breathe, so I don't make much noise. But when I'm moving, of course I do.
Oh, got it. So you want to be ready there to spring out as they come through?
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole mess of people run past you. They're in paramilitary type garb, right? Clearly combat boots and fatigues, but no military insignia for a specific army. And there's some shouting in Russian going on amongst them. What do you do?
I'm gonna resort to violence.
Are you resorting to violence against a whole mob of people?
I am, in fact. Yes.
Hey, this machine kills fascists. When you resort to violence against a whole mob of people, you can also pick one of these options, even on a miss. You destroy their morale and send many of the mob scattering. You keep their attention of the whole mob fixed firmly on you. So that's exciting. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus weapon for how this to get a sense of how this fight goes. Are you just leaping out and attacking with your bare hands here, or what?
I have a lead pipe.
Oh, you have a lead pipe. How swell.
Yes. So I'm going to lay about me hither and yon with that pipe.
Wow.
My weapon is +1.
Yeah. Yeah, so this wooden woman just coming out of nowhere, lead pipe swinging in every direction. What did you roll here?
A 6. Terrible. But I can keep them all focused. Well, I don't know which is better. Let me get a sense of the room. Should I keep them all focused on me, which I'm happy to do, or should I destroy the morale and send many of the mobs scattering? Which is more helpful?
I think it would be more fun to have more of a one-on-one with a big goon and you, and than to have you be overwhelmed by awesome forces.
Okay, I will destroy the morale then and send the mob scattering.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so there's just, like whatever they were prepared for down in these sewers, it wasn't a wooden woman wielding a lead pipe just coming out of nowhere and laying about. So they start scattering. Some are running back, some are just like running in different directions. But there's no longer a single massed force. However, you do find yourself facing down a big goon, as we said, and they bring a shotgun to bear and just let you have it right in the chest. So I'm gonna have you take serious harm here.
All right.
So that's a roll plus stress.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm at 2 stress. Fascinating. Ha! I got 11, so that's a 13.
Oh no! Oh no! No!
I'm so sorry, Ashleigh.
This is awesome. We're going out in a blaze of glory. So
on a 13 plus, your number's up. You're out of the fight.
Oh, wow.
Probably marking MIA.
Wow.
Ashleigh, what do you you previously, when you got blasted with lightning, you had this vision of the tree.
Yes.
What sort of vision is dancing in your head as you take this shotgun blast right to the chest, and we're gonna kind of see you kind of collapse, or possibly losing bits of yourself, given that you're made of wood here.
There's a smell of wood shavings, and a view comes into focus, not hazily, but incompletely, like I'm blindfolded, and patches of blindfold are being taken off one by one, and then I can see a kindly old man with a paintbrush who is painting something right next to my field of vision, apparently my other eye.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful but messy, creatively messy workshop, and there's saws and sandpaper and planes and tiny, very sharp knives with knob handles, I feel how much this guy just loves me. I kind of want this to last forever.
You muted, Alexi.
Ashleigh sees that. Well, what the rest of you see is your mannequin friend, just getting blown away, right? Like probably some shards of wood, just fly through the air and cut your face slightly, Emilie, right? Or embed in your arm, Jack. Like there are splinters flying, and there's a broken doll hitting the floor in a splash. But there are enemies scattered to the winds by Ashleigh's sacrifice. Emilie, what do you do?
Oh, well, that was happening. I was trying to steal one of the apples.
just pluck it away, for yourself.
Yeah, I that's when I was trying to do that, and I don't know if I have to roll to see if I succeed, because I'm trying to do that without anyone noticing. But
that sounds like act under scrutiny to me.
So I have this move where
act under scrutiny is a basic move.
Yeah,
oh, you have a different move for this.
Yeah, I have my roll move, which when your back's against the wall and you could really use a lucky break, call your benefactor to mind and fill your stress track to make a move as if you rolled a 10+. Yes, I'm wasting this move on taking this apple. Not anything useful.
I'm sorry, and you're marking a total of 4 stress to do it.
But I really want this apple. We
All
might
right.
need it to fix Ashleigh. Who knows? Well, obviously she wasn't. Emilie wasn't thinking that.
So yeah, when you call your benefactor to mind, fill your stress track to make a move as if you rolled a 10 plus. Just work out with the MC who suffers because of your windfall. So
I guess it was Ashleigh.
So yeah, who are you? Like, as you're calling your benefactor to mind, what are you thinking about? What's that? Is it? Are you just like thinking of when Victoria tossed you that apple back in your small hometown, or is there a like skill she taught you for stealing things unnoticed?
I'm thinking about the night she first disappeared. She's done this 2 times to me now. It was, I think, the night where she was very evasive about what she was, although I figured she was some kind of vampire of some sort. And there was a night where like I just kind of like broke down and asked her to make me something like her. And she gave me a peck on the forehead, and the next day she was gone, and I had to figure myself out. And that's when all this supernatural luck bullshit started happening. And when I called her to mind, it's because when I'm plucking this apple, I'm thinking, I'm going to figure out a way to replace what you gave me, Victoria, and I'm going to use that apple to do so.
Oh man.
That's her ultimate plan for the moment. Emilie's is to whatever Victoria gave her, she's going to replace that with a different kind of power.
Oh, fascinating. Yeah. Well, you're just picking one of these little apples and like putting it secretly on your person somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. As you do that, like for Vesta has been taking shots at these enemies, dropping people into the sewer water. For a moment, she like looks towards you, like she suspects what's happening, and then she gets blindsided by one of the enemies that's made it past the line of defense, and now she's grappling with them in the sewer water. Gun kind of caught between them. So yeah, you got that apple, and no one's detected you. Good for you, Emilie.
I think that's when I look up and see that Ashleigh's been cut down. It's just, Jesus.
Jack, what are you doing?
I don't really need to call on death to figure out who here really deserves violence now, do I?
I mean, that's up to you. You decide when I believe the move says that you kind of you judge. When you really try against someone, you judge to have really deserved it. So if you're trying to trigger that, it's just all about your own judgment and whether you think you need death to help you or not.
No, I don't. And at this point, Tommy gun's in the right hand, reaches into the coat with the left, brings something up to my teeth, make a quick yanking gesture, and throw it down the sewer, and proceed to start laying down fire everywhere as the grenade clatters off of the cobblestones and comes to a rest in the muck.
Let's resort to violence.
Oh, I don't know that this is resorting so much as choosing and perhaps delighting in violence.
Succumbing to violence.
Alrighty, so roll plus weapon. You know what? Nah, I'm not going to do the move yet. I'm not going to figure out the advance just yet. That is an 8. Weapon is 9. I am going to take the advance. I'm going to go ahead and take this, rearrange my stats and add 1.
Oh, and thus boost your weapon?
Boost my weapon to 2, which makes it a 10.
Okay, and you're definitely causing collateral damage here. Vienna's sewers might not be the same after this. What options are you picking from the resort to violence list?
Well, let's see. Because of War is Hell, which, oh God, I love that one.
That's what the move is. War is hell, and I love it.
Yeah. And so that allows me to choose an additional option. So let's go back over to the resort to violence. All right. I avoid the blow. I don't end up entangled, and I take something away from them. And what I'm going to take away is I'm going to kill as many of these sons of bitches as I possibly can. I mean, with a Tommy gun and a grenade down the sewer, that ought to do the trick.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm going to hold the line that take something from them isn't equivalent to kill them, but it sounds like you're taking away any shreds of morale that they had.
Yeah. What about the big goon? What does the big goon that just killed Ashleigh do? What happens to him?
I mean, are you targeting him or Skye? You want to reserve that guy?
If it's okay with you, Puckett, I have something in mind.
Okay. Yeah. So let's just wreak as much havoc, chaos, and violence down that sewer tunnel as possible, so as many of these scumbags flee, are wounded, critically injured, whatever. There's more than just sewage in that water.
You're leaving a bunch of casualties here.
Yeah, they're never going to be right again.
And some electrical blasts just arc right over you, right? But you are laying down enough fire, just wreaking destruction. No one's getting a bead on you. Skye, sounds like you have a plan.
Yeah. I imagine Skye saw what happened to Ashleigh and ran up and was looking at her still form and couldn't get a response out of her. And she's a doctor, but she's never had to put a mannequin back together before. This just doesn't fucking work. And
but I'm a doctor, not a craftsman.
Right, exactly. And I see the guy with the shotgun running off after Jack unloads everything. And I'm I scream no, and I start running after him. And that's when the grenade explodes and a whole bunch of water comes rushing in. And I want to try to submerge him in water so I can use my Rusalka.
Are you just tackling the guy, or are you directing the water at him?
No, I want to tackle him into the water, and we're both underwater, and then he'll be at my mercy.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's resort to violence, and yeah, if you can make a solid hit here, push him under the water, then he'll be completely at your mercy.
Okay. Ooh. No. Even with my +2, that's a no.
Oh my goodness.
Oh well.
Is there any way I can assist?
I mean, by providing covering fire. You can mark a stress to help Skye out, and possibly some of the stress is just having to pull back from just unloading because it's just shit, Skye's there. I don't want to shoot her.
Skye, so what do you roll? What stat are you rolling your Rusalka move with?
The Rusalka move is just a fact that once someone's underwater, they're at her mercy. But I was having Skye roll resort to violence to see if they kind of succeeded at tackling the guy, or if other complications emerged.
Okay, so you would have to roll a 5 or better.
I would have to roll a 3 or better.
That's not bad odds.
Yeah, I'll mark a stress.
Okay. 60,
One more dice, Skye.
67% chance. Here we go. Yes. 3 + 2 is 5 + 2 is 7.
There you go. Yeah. What are you're picking something from the resort to violence list?
Well, so first of all, we exchange blows unless I choose not to.
Right.
And I think I take something away from them, which is their balance.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So you're definitely pushing, tackling this guy, getting him underwater. I think just I think he's not gonna manage to to connect a super great blow, but maybe just take a stress from him struggling. I'm not gonna make you roll take serious harm, but I'm giving you a stress just from
Sure.
dealing with the guy. But yeah, you get him underwater. What happens? It's all yours now.
Okay. So, my garrote is around his throat, and he's got his hands up, having dropped the shotgun already, trying to hold back on it, and I'm going to lie to him and say, "Tell me who you're working for, and I'll let you live."
Great. Yeah. And you've been learning some Russian. So he's stammering out, in between trying to catch his breath. He's stammering out. Dr. Thorne said the tree had the secret to living forever.
All right. Well, I know who Dr. Thorne is, so I kill him.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I got him for you, Ashleigh.
Yeah. Yeah, we got that guy.
This is so awesome. I love the lie. I'll let you live.
I think there's a voice coming over a loudspeaker suddenly, just saying, "Everyone, hands up, weapons down. The Americans are here. We're taking care of this." And in fact, floodlights from every direction, as it becomes clear that whatever else was going on here, the Americans now have the site surrounded.
Somebody's been listening to Flowers.
Jack, what do you do? You see where where there are the pieces of Ashleigh kind of floating in the water, and you see Skye finished that guy off, and now apparently the Americans have shown up, as the self-declared cavalry.
Just like Americans. Show up after all the actions happened. Does my 10 plus mean that the Americans don't catch me either?
Yeah, you can get out of there if you don't want the Americans to know you were part of this. Though people who are smart enough might guess because of all the grenades and stuff. But no, well, you got a 10 plus. You're not entangled or caught, so you have the opening to make your way out of there if you so desire.
Okay, so Skye's down the tunnel, correct?
Yeah, she chased after that guy.
Yeah.
So that 10 plus wouldn't affect her because she's too far away, right?
She had her own stuff going on.
Is the 10 plus only for me, or can I take people nearby with me, like Vesta or Emilie?
Yeah. Well, tell me what you do, and I'll see if we end up needing a roll. But that seems plausible. You might be able to bring people with you.
I just grab Vesta's hand and put the Tommy gun back into my trench coat, grab Emilie's hand, and we're off deeper into the sewers. Away from the floodlights.
Can I say that, just to say that Emilie was doing other stuff rather than taking that apple, she was gonna try to get the biggest piece of Ashleigh that she can?
Oh,
Sure.
totally. Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like we're transitioning into kind of epilogue here. So if you want to say, Emilie, that you scooped up as much of Ashleigh as you could before people started fleeing, that works for me.
Yeah, and Skye's in the water. She should be fine, unlike last time. Because she was in a burning building last time.
I love how I care for you so much, and you're like, eh.
Oh man,
Circumstances. Okay, no, last time I came back
That's
and
true.
crashed that
That's
truck.
true.
Yeah, you're in the water. It'll be fine. See, Emmy's being
You are smart.
Yeah.
I'm full of passion and ignorant and idiotic choices.
yeah. Vesta's not happy about being pulled away from the tree, but I think you can pull her as it becomes clear that the situation is changing radically in ways you don't want to be around for.
Basically, this is come with me or they'll catch you. And I can't say what will happen after that.
Mm-hmm. So Skye, what do you do? And I think yeah, like I signaled, we're kind of getting into epilogue mode. So you don't necessarily need to make a roll, but I'm interested in what we see her doing.
You say this is an epilogue, right? Like, so this can be well after the events in the sewer.
Sure. Yeah, we can get a glimpse. Absolutely.
Okay. So Skye has gone back to the graveyard that Jack and Ashleigh were at and has set up a gravestone for Ashleigh. And it's in front of a tree. And she ties this green scarf to it. And you smash cut over to Skye's apartment, and she's painted this watercolor of the happiness that Ashleigh had when she touched the tree. But she's added the scarf to it, and the scarf makes it look like Ashleigh's blooming from her head, like it looks like a green tree is there. And I'm just dealing with my thoughts. But since I did get that book about dragons and I can't be here in the month of August, I think I've got that book in hand, and I decided to head out to Romania, where the book says I should go.
All right. So Skye's going on a little hunt here. Emilie, any last we saw you scoop up bits of Ashleigh. Any last images you want for this season of Emilie's Adventures in Vienna, knowing that we'll be seeing some more?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna give those bits to wherever Chris wants them to go. I think Emilie would do that. But as soon as she does that, it's like, all right, maybe I'll see Ashleigh again. Who knows? But I got my own shit. So I think we get a shot of Emilie back at her apartment, which fairly nice. Hence why she didn't want, I guess she didn't want to go there, covered in sewer muck. And she kind of places the tiny apple that she got on a table, and I think she's just watching there, and there's an open window. You can see Vienna, and it's all cinematic, and the moon is out. And she's looking at that apple, and it's kind of she's doing this thing that she always does, where she just shakes off what just happened, as if all right, that's just another day, on to the next. And I think this is gonna factor into her end of session stuff, because her loyalty is gonna be shifted, or at least her ideology, as in that, well, if Skye's getting cozy with the Soviets, and I've already admitted to her that I'm a bit jealous, I'm gonna go to the other side. So I think. And because I'm one box away from marking in advance, I think she just picks up her phone, and it's just, hey George, I've been talking. Hey, I'm sorry, Agent Dixon. I know we haven't talked in a while, but yeah, okay, yes. That stuff with Wolfgang, that was totally my fault. But come on, I'm ready to make amends. I'm sure. Oh, really? The CIA are busy. You were never too busy for me, Agent Dixon. Come on.
Wow. So seeing that you feel like the Americans are the winning side after what went down in the sewers. You're like, better get me a handler.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, mark that XP, and it sounds like you have a sense of the entanglement you're choosing as well from that. Jack, any last images? Yes, I'm saving Ashleigh for last. Do not worry.
I want to trigger my release move real quick.
Oh, interesting.
Die Hard. Because as Vesta and I are going through the sewers, we finally emerge, and it's night. It is very clear that I have missed whatever meeting Trip wanted to have.
Mm-hmm.
And Vesta and I are under the streetlights. And I look at her and say, "You wanted to protect the tree. You can't do that now. But I can offer you something just as meaningful. Let's get the bastards and kill every last one of them."
She says, "Amen to that." And that certainly would trigger Die Hard. You XP or clearing a stress.
XP.
All right. And the other, you're making a choice from the end of session list. Also, I'm sorry, I did this slightly haphazardly, but we'll give everyone a chance to pick from that.
Okay. End of session. I think my loyalty may have been shifted slightly by the Americans coming in at the end to seize the tree.
Hmm.
And that'll play in rather quickly. I have an idea for the next scene. Next time.
Yeah, in the next season on Checkpoint Midnight. Cool. All right, so Jack feels some kind of a way about the Americans' appearance at the end there. That's great. Skye, I skipped over asking you for the end of session choice, so you can make that choice now if you'd like. Is there one of those that jumps out at you? There's a tab with the end of session moves, but one is describe how your character's ideology or loyalty has been shifted, what they've learned, mark XP. Another option is explain how you've gained advantageous insight into a character you interacted with, gain leverage over them. And lastly, describe how another operative can tell you'd take a bullet for them, remove one stress from them, and mark one stress yourself.
I don't think my ideology has changed. And I think I'm still loyal to my Russian handler. So marking XP doesn't make any sense. Explain how you've gained advantageous insight into a character you interacted with. Oh, maybe let's say they're like, even though the camera was tight on Skye and the gunman, there's an exchange of words right before she kills him where he reveals something about Dr. Thorne.
Nice. Yeah, just to track that. Yeah.
Yeah, no subtitles or anything like that, and we can figure out what that is when I come back.
Sure. Yeah, take a leverage on Dr. Thorne. That's fun to work with.
Yeah. And then hopefully that has something to do with the dragons in Romania. So we'll see.
Ashleigh, I turn to you. You had a big moment here. You're leaving in not one piece, but you can tell us what you'd like as far as Ashleigh's epilogue here, because we are bidding adieu to the character, we think, unless the stars align in another way. But give us an epilogue sense, if you don't mind.
Well, I think being buried under the tree was just perfect. Anything like that can be a human touch that treats her humanely, I think is good. So as much of me as possible, I think I'd actually like to have in one piece, unless there are some small pieces that anybody wants as a keepsake. I think the flowers from my head, from my headdress, are, they'll always smell fresh. So it's like that. I feel like I would want to bequeath my like maybe I have like a will like written in, like hidden in
the apartment.
Yeah, behind the plaster and what do you call it? The slats of the plaster. Like I have like a will, sort of handwritten, and it says, I want Jack to have my cigarette collection, and I want Skye to have one of my roses, and I want Emilie to have my apartment.
All right. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, and we'll say that over the in the days that follow, the characters do find this will and figure out how to pass on these.
I should give something to Inga
rituals.
too, but we'll just have to assume that I had something else to give to Inga. Oh yeah, a nice bed provided by Otto.
Oh, someone in the chat asks who gets Constance.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
I actually have an idea for that, if you don't mind.
I mean, I feel like Emilie could use a conscience.
That
maybe
works.
I give Inga the apartment, and I give Constance to Emilie. What were you thinking?
I think if you giving Constance to Emilie is amazing. We gotta do that. I'm thinking we get like one last shot, and it's like a train leaving the city, and like Val Atkinson is like sitting on a seat, and like she says softly to like a box on her lap, "I'm sorry we couldn't help each other more, but I will keep my promise." And like she like opens up the box, and we see just like one of Ashleigh's hands in there, and then she like closes it again, and the train is like, the train conductor is like says, full, what is it? Anyway, just and starts announcing the stops, and like all of them are garbled, but we hear the word like Berlin at the end of the list of of train stops as the train goes out and away.
What was her promise?
She promised to introduce you to the
bring
maestro.
Oh yes, right. Okay, that's great. Okay, yeah. So Constance gets Emilie, or vice versa.
Oh, I think Constance gets Emilie might be the correct interpretation there. Wow, thank you everyone for playing. We've gone a little over time, but it was a season finale. We had to get to some conclusions and some cliffhangers. I'll see some of you again for more Checkpoint Midnight, but all of you, thank you for playing, and have a lovely night. And anyone watching, thanks for joining us, and stay safe out there.